hi, Chad. Hi. All right, we're here to pick up the beast. He's next to you waving at you. All right. This is it, huh?
Yep.
This is the beast.
Kind of looks like your old truck that you had.
Yeah. We can do something with it. Kind of put together, isn't it?
Kind of.
Not used to that. Here we go. What the plan is, we're needing a heart for the ambulance that we just bought. So I think that's going to be the heart. 6.0. That ought to push it down the road a little bit. Yeah, for plow truck, you know, like we said, all them years of salt and stuff, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's got Tommy gate on it. What if it works? Yep. So,
I think you should come into the seat of it and load the gurneys in.
might be able to load up the bumper cars with it. We can put it on the back of the 58, lift it up and put it in.
There you go.
So, yeah. Okay, well, I'll come up here and we'll go up here and get them paid, get this thing loaded up, go home and see what we can tear up.
Looks like it got really low brake.
Yeah, it's probably got a busted brake line.
11 minutes later.
I had a problem with my winch last time I used it.
Flashback.
Oh, makes sense.
End of flashback.
My ground cable was loose and I didn't realize it. It's one of them things. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
No.
I could have probably hooked it on here. Probably. Oh, put in neutral.
Moments later.
I'll steer it. Old school crank windows, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, see if it'll go.
Let me try it. Top one.
Bottom.
Bottom.
How about that? The winch even worked. So the last time, this ground wire, when we went to haul the ambulance, this ground wire was loose. That's what the problem was I was having issues with, because normally we don't have issues with this winch. And actually I got this winch from Chad here. He got this for us to help us out, and it's really helped out. It's pretty damn nice. Well, we'll get this strapped down and then we'll head back home.
Later.
All right, we got her home, got her unloaded. It's not a bad old truck, really. It was in a plow truck, so the frame and stuff's got some rust on it, stuff like that, but we basically got it for the motor. So the plan is to put that motor in that car. So that's the game plan. That's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna be selling some parts off this thing. If anybody wants anything, just let me know. I'll be parting out some stuff. The bed on it is, I'm not sure what's under here. That's the problem, because they usually rust back behind here. It's got some surface rust. Paint's flaking off where the gas door is. The bed, it's a short bed. It's not terrible. If you look down along here, it's not terrible. The lift gate, I'm not sure. I might be keeping the lift gate for another project. There's this bedside. It does look like there's a place right here that's dented in pretty good. You can tell if you look down through there. Down here, it looks like it's been hit, but it's not rusted out. So if anybody's needing anything, fenders or something like that, I'm gonna probably sell some parts off of it. It's got a good hood and stuff. And the doors aren't terrible, so it all depends on what you're wanting. So just hit me up, let me know. But that's kind of where we're at right now. I can't do a lot of videoing with car stuff because I'm busy in the taxidermy shop, so. Alrighty. I know a lot of you has been talking about the taxidermy comments on our page, asking a little bit about what we do in the taxidermy shop. So I've been real busy right now because it's deer season. So I haven't really been able to work out in the garage, build cars and stuff like I normally do. So I'm gonna walk you through and show you the taxidermy shop, and we'll show you kind of how we do it and what we do. And I don't know, I just figured it'd be something interesting for you guys to kind of see. All right, so we'll go in here and show you guys the shop. So this is the taxidermy shop. It's not a great big shop, but it's a nice shop. We get a lot done out here. Here's some of the things that we've mounted. All these deer are drying. As you can see, they got the cards on the ears and stuff. The reason for that is, I can show you on this elk right here. So when we card these ears, it keeps them from curling up, because if you don't put that card like that on there, it'll curl these ears up. When it dries, it'll kind of roll and it just looks bad. So that's the reason for that. This is an elk a customer brought in. All these are customers' deers. A little ram. There's some bucks. There's a couple there. These are all from this year. Here's one of the hides I'm working on right now. I'm getting ready to mount this deer. Here in a minute, I'll show you a video of me mounting this to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of how we do it. But back here, this is our dirty room. It's kind of dirty back here. So we've been getting a lot of deer in. This is Josh. He works out here in the shop. You guys probably seen him on our videos before. He's having to cut the shifter. Are you getting it? That one's going. Is it? Yeah. He's always helping me do stuff. But he's fleshing a deer out. See what he does, he takes all this down, gets that membrane and everything off, and then what we'll do is we'll tan that. And once it gets tanned with this dry preservative, it is just a big process on how we do it. It's a lot to tell you, really. But once we tan it, then it goes into this tumbling machine right here. And this tumbling machine has sawdust in it. And we put dry preservative, sawdust, and once the hide goes in there, it tumbles for like an hour. And then that purifies that hide for tanning purposes. So that's what that machine there is for. It's got a timer on it. It's pretty neat. You can just set the timer and walk away from it. That way if you gotta leave or do something else, it'll shut itself off. Oh, and that's a backpack mount. I forgot to show you that. Forgot he was hanging down there. That's called a backpack mount. It's different, A lot of people like that. So, and these two deer here are a customer's deer that's wanting them repaired. They're old, and he's just wanting them repaired, freshened up, and go from there. So, and then back here in the back, let me take you back here and show you all these racks. Sorry, Josh. So, back here, this is where we have our freezers. This is where we keep all the antlers. We keep everything back here in storage until we're ready to mount these. These are all head mounts. So, here's the forms that the racks mount here, and I'll show you here in a little bit when I do a deer head. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But you screw the antlers down on the top of the form, but that's what all these are. These are all head mounts, and we have a lot of them. It's been a busy year. So yeah, there's 2 rows of them here. So there's a lot of rack, a lot of nice deer. It's been a good year. So yeah, the freezers. Just bought this brand new freezer here the other day. Julie went and picked it up. We got that one. This one's full. And then this great big one here, she's full too. So it takes a lot of freezer space, but it works pretty good. And we just got a regular refrigerator here. A lot of times if we're working a deer and we just need to keep it cool for the night, that's where we put it. That's the only reason that refrigerator is actually here. So but yeah, Josh is getting this one all done. It looks good. It's a doe, so it's a smaller deer. He's not used to that. Normally the ones he's doing are huge and pain in the butt.
That's what she said.
We've had a problem with ticks this year. So we put the deer up here on this table and we skin them out off the skull is how we do it. And yesterday, me and Josh did like 20 deer in here. It was first weekend of gun season, and Josh actually lives in Ohio. So I called him and I said, dude, I need your help. So he came back over and thought he'd give me a hand here. So I sure appreciate it. I know that. But yeah, it's been a good job. I've been doing this for about 22 years now, and we do a little bit of everything. I mean, there's a bobcat up here in the window, but I don't like doing bobcats. So if you have one, don't bring it over here. We don't like them, do we, Josh? They suck. Yeah.
You do buffalo.
Yeah, well, that's right. We do buffalo. Josh did a buffalo one time. And it was so funny because after he did the hide, he got it all tanned out. He actually put it on. He wore it. He's got a photo. I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it up here. You guys will get a chuckle. He put this hide on and it looked like he was wearing it. It was pretty fun. So, but yeah, that's what we do. And just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of what we do out here in this shop. I've had a lot of people asking, you know, hey, can you show anything out in the taxidermy shop? So I guess today is the day. I don't have a lot of footage with cars, so I figured I would show you what I've been doing on all my time. This takes a lot of time doing this, especially something like this elk. I mean, that's a lot of work. But yeah, he looks pretty good. You guys can check out our work. Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty buck. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I think that is actually the only thing in here that's finished is the elk. Everything else is drying. Everything else has got, you know, cards on their ears and stuff like that. So that means they're drying. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the video, and I'll be posting a video of me mounting this deer here in just a little bit. All right, guys. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to mount this deer, and I've already got the ears ready. So what we do is we split the ears inside of here, open it up, we put Bondo inside of here to make these real hard. That's how the ears keep their form. So I've got it all ready. They have glass eyes, and if you drop these on the concrete, they will break. So glass eyes, that's all they are. And I'm gonna put the eyes in, and I'm gonna go ahead and start working on mounting this deer. That way it gives you guys a little bit of an idea on how I do this. So I'll put this eye in, and then I'll come around there and do the other side. Kind of explain what I'm doing here, because you got to put clay on here to hold these eyes in when you're getting ready to put it together. So what I do is I just take a ball of clay like this, and the eye, I put it inside of there, and then I place the eye in the form, and there's a direction on the way it goes. So you got to put it in a certain way. I take off the excess, roll the clay up, and put it right there around the eye. And I know I'm going to make this look real easy, and everybody out there is going to say, you know, I think I could mount a deer. Okay, so you can try it, but I've been doing this for 22 years. So obviously when you do this for a long time, you get pretty good at it. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to make the clay for the earbuds. What that means is when you go to put the deer on the form, you got these round, about the size of a baseball.
You see my baseball? I think I saw it right behind your ear.
And you got these round balls, and you put these into the earbuds on the deer, and you can adjust the ear the way they need to go. And this is air dry clay is what that is. So I got these two. These will go right here in the earbuds when you put the hide on here. So I'm going to kind of go through this a little quick because I don't want to bore you with this because it takes time to mount a deer. So we'll probably end up fast forwarding some of this because I'll just quit talking and you can just watch. So I'm going to put the glue on it and we'll continue on. Okay, got the glue on here. So I do not put glue down through this area because this is where you stitch it and you don't want to get the stitch in the glue. You know what I mean? So you just leave this, you put glue on the bottom. What I'll do now is I'll take the hide, the deer hide. Here's the face. You know, we could do a puppet show. Hello, everyone. So what I do is pull this up inside out. I usually have my hand like this. I run it right over the top of the head. Come over here. You got to watch and not get glue on the hair because it's hard to get it off. So you just pull this over just like so. Pull it down. I got glue all over me. That's great. So this deer was shot early season, like early October. So the hair is real short. Here's the horns. And what I did, if you look, I drilled 3 holes in here. And what I'll do is I'll place this up here. There's a piece of wood inside of here that you can screw this down to. So you hold it in position. Might be a little loud. Put the third one in like that. So as you can see, he's coming back together. So now what I'll do, I'll get me a piece of clay and I put it back in here where his brain used to be. If I only had a brain.
I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain.
I'll put this in here. Like I said, this clay dries. It's air dry clay is what it is. So, you know, after about 4 or 5 days, it starts hardening up and then you can finish it out. So I'll do that. And then let me get you a little closer here. You can kind of see what I'm doing on this eye. So I'm going to raise this up because I want you to see what I'm doing like that. So what I'll do is I'll take some more clay. And I've been doing this for so long, I can kind of tell how much I need. So what I'll do is I'll roll this clay up in my hand. And if you notice, this is thicker here and thinner here. So I put the thick area up here above the top of the eye for an eyebrow, roll it around, and then I smear this down, all the way down. And then what that does is it gives that eyebrow. And I know I just made that look really simple, but it's really not. So if you ever try this, you'll understand what I'm saying. I'll do the same thing on this side, roll it around, spread it out to get the eyebrow. I know this might be a little boring to some people, but I've had a lot of people ask about seeing this process. So that's why I'm doing this. And right now I'm not doing a lot in the garage, like I said before, because I'm out here all the time because it's deer season. So it's kind of hard for me to make videos working on cars when I'm in the taxidermy shop for 12 hours a day. So if any of you out there are like, man, I wish you'd show us working on cars. Yeah, I do too. But this is what I do to make money to buy old cars. So that's all done. I'll take my paintbrush, roll it back up like that. Put the lid back on here. Okay, now we're done with the clay. So what I'll do is I'll pull this up. You got to be careful when you do this because you don't want to smash that down flat. So keep it away from the deer till you get it up on there. Same way on this side. Pull it up like that. And then you can get this nose ready like that. So if you push down on the glue, it'll hold that nose so it's not sliding down on you. Now I need to lower this down. Man, I keep getting glue all over me. So what I'll do is I've got a stitch here. I've got 2 of these and 1 big one that goes down the back. So the 2 small ones goes from here and you hook it. And then you find the other point up here. Well, then when you pull this string tight, it pulls it around the antler. So if you notice, it's closing all the way around the antler, so there's hair all the way around there. You got to be careful when you do this to make sure you keep it really tight around that antler. You don't want a big gap there. Now there's ways of fixing it if you do get a gap. I'll have to show you that on another video probably. But so this is what I do. I stitch it up all the way to the tip. There's a point here and a point here because when you cut these off, what I do is I V cut them. I go from antler to antler and I come into a V and then I cut it down the back. That's how I do it. So pull this up. I'll go back through the same hole here and I'll lock this in. So that side's done. Grab this stuff. I'm gonna set these over here so they're easier to get to. So now I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll hook it. I'll stitch it all up. And then we'll go to the next step. So bear with me. Okay, got that one all done. I'll cut the thread. You leave the thread long, and I'll show you why. So you cut the thread, then you take these ear butts that I was telling you about that I made earlier, roll them like that. You take that string, you leave that string laying in there. You put this in there with the string. So when it dries, it locks that string in. And you do that on both sides. So there's one side, here's the other. Sorry I don't have anything playing here in the shop, but you know, every time you play music or something, you get copyright problems with YouTube. So that's the reason it's kind of quiet in here. It's normally not like this. Let me adjust this up a little bit. There we go. So now those are in. Now what I'll do is, let me take you off of here for a second. So now you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So when I sewed it from here to here and from here to here. Now what I'll do is I'll start going back and forth all the way down through here. And what it'll do is it'll pull this hide together like that. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to sew this all up and then we will go to the next stage. We might have to do a little time lapse here because it's going to take me a minute to sew all the way down the back of this thing. So here we go. Okay, got that all stitched up. I'll cut the string off and I'll show you how it looks. Yeah. So this is a real short haired deer because it was early season, like I said. So I've stitched it up all the way down through here. So you're going to see this because the hair's so short on this deer because it's early season. So you're going to see the stitch line. There's not a whole lot you can do about it when they're this short of hair, you know, just to stitch it. So what I'll do now is I'll hook the backboard, I'll staple everything on the back, and then I will work on the face. So let's do that and then we'll keep on going. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over and work on that. I built this stand for this years ago and it's got like little T handles. You loosen the T and you can roll it around, flip it upside down or whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the brisket up and make sure that it's centered. So when you do this, you gotta make sure you pull all this hair up, make sure everything fits right. And sometimes if you can't get it to pull all the way, I've got this little tool. I don't know what it is. It's like a little, I don't know what it is.
That's what she said.
Anyway, it's a tool. So it's got a point to it. You can hook on and pull the hide. You can pull it up and then just rake that back out with a brush or something. So you pull this up and then what I'll do is I'll take my air stapler and I will staple all the way around the back and then cut off all the excess hide. So let me do that. I'll flip it back over and staple the top part and then I'll cut it off. Now what I'll do, let me turn them around here so you can see. There you go. So got all this extra hide. What I'll do is I'll take my knife, now that I've got it stapled, and I'll just run it all the way around. This knife's pretty sharp. You know, I'm a taxidermist, so my knives are going to be sharp. So they'll cut you if you don't watch it. And I've cut myself a lot after doing it for 22 years. It's going to happen. Cut this off. There's the excess hide. We'll just go in the trash, but you can kind of see this is about what's left over. So we'll throw that away. And then there you have it. It's mounted on the backboard, good shape. So now what I'll do is I'll flip this back over and spin this back around so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I've got some cardboard. I take this cardboard, fold it up like that. Take an air brad gun and I lay that right in that crevice where his front legs would be. Like that. I put about 4 or 5 brads in it. I'll do the same thing on the other side. And there's a reason for that. Okay, so the reason I do that is because that will hold that hide tight, because when this is flipped over and you got it hanging on the wall, the problem is gravity will take in and it'll pull this away and then it's not tight. So I have to make that where it's real tight. So now what I'll do is I'll lift this up and do the mouth. All right, so I'm gonna work on the mouth. I've got some spectators at the door. Got a couple guys that work for me and they're out here aggravating me while I'm trying to film. If you notice, these are the two clowns that I gotta deal with all the time. So they've been messing with me the whole time I've been in here. They've been at the door. No, these guys have been helping me for a long time. Say hi, guys. That's Bub and that's Josh. That's Josh's cousin. All right.
A few minutes later.
So when we cut these, I'm going to tuck this lip right here all the way around on the mouthpiece, because you have to tuck that in there and then put T-pins in it to hold it. So what I do is I start over here, go around this way. What I'm doing is I'm just tucking the lip of that. We leave like 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 at the most, and we tuck that inside of that little slot that I've dremeled out. Well, then you take the bottom. I have to move this hide a little bit. That's a good thing. You can kind of move the hide around when it's like this. So you take this, pull this out, and you tuck that lip all the way in there. I got the top lip in. Now I'm going to be getting this bottom one in. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a burger trying to get it in there, but get that tucked just like that. Yeah, that don't look too bad. Get it in there real good.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Now what I'll do is I'll just do it on the other side. All right, got that done. I got these small T-pins and I've got big large ones. So I take the small ones, I hook that bottom lip, go through it into the top lip and push it into that crevice, that crevice there. And what I'll do is I'll do this on both sides. So I'll go down this side, hook it, push it in. Yeah, them guys have been giving me crap all day. It's funny though. We have a good time out here. And those two guys, Bub and Josh, they've been with me for years, helping me do this. So they're good guys. We have a lot of fun out here. We mess around and aggravate each other. And you can imagine how the conversations go out in this shop. It's usually south. Okay, so I'll hook this side. Yeah. Grab that T-pin, push it in there, and you just work your way all the way to the back. And then what it does is that keeps that lip from coming out while it dries. And then once it's dried, then you can take these out. Got this little tool buddy of mine made me. Push these in. Yep, push them all in. And what that's doing is that's just locking that right in that crevice there. Or the deer line, or whatever you want to call it. His lips, putting his lips in there. So now what I'll do is I'll flip this over. Okay, he's starting to look like a deer. So what I'll do now is I take these pins, his nose, you have to push his nostrils back up in there, and I usually put a needle right in the corner on both sides, just like that. Yep. Just like so. It just takes, this is time consuming. It's not, for me, it's not that hard because I've been doing it for so long, but it's just time consuming. So what I do is I take these bags like you get from the grocery store and I cut them into little strips, and I take these and I push them into the nose and the nostril. And what that does is that'll keep that nostril all spread out while it dries. Then when you take it out, you don't have the cartilage falling down into the hole and obstructing the view of that hole being wide open, So I do both of these, just leave that in there while it dries, just like that, and it'll be in good shape. So now comes the eyes. Actually, let me do these ears real quick. What I do, there's a clay ball, in here like I was telling you before. So, sometimes you gotta get a little rough with it. So I use my palm of my hand to work that clay, and then you can adjust these ears however you want. If you want them forward, or you can lay them back, or however you want them. Sometimes the customer will ask for a certain way, and sometimes they just tell you to make it look the best you can. So I do both of these. Get this one done. Okay, so there's that. You just kind of stand back and look at it and see what works. So I use knitting needles. All you ladies out there, I mean, that's just great. So I stick that in the form and it holds that ear into place. And then I put that cardboard on I was telling you about earlier to hold it. I'll do that last. So now I'm going to do the eyes. Let me move the camera a little closer for this, because you got to see how I do these eyes. What I'll do is I'll pull you over here close, and then that way maybe you can see what I'm doing. Might be a little hard like this, but we'll try it. So what I do is I adjust the eye. Like I said, you got to be careful, that clay's in there. You don't want to smash it. So right here's the corner. I'll take that needle and put it right in the corner, right next to the eye, and I push it in. Just like that. I'll take another one. I'll go to this corner. I'll pull this down right there. I'll put it in. I'll push it in. Just like that. Then you take a third one. Now the third one goes right up here by the eyelashes, and you push it up. And I'll show you here in just a second why I did that. So now I take a big T-pin, not the little ones, it's the big one, and I'll put it in this tear duct. So I'll hook it here on this side. I hook it on the other side. And then you push it into that slot, right where the tear duct goes. Shove it in there. Notice the hair is kind of falling a little bit. Not the hair, but the hide. It's kind of loose right there. Just push that down. The glue will hold it. So what I do now is I push this bottom down, just like that. And then I take my tool, I put it right here in the corner, and I use this to form this eye. And what that does, and you can just push this out to smooth it. You don't want a hump there. You want it like a little transition going down. You don't want it just cut and dry, you know what I mean? So you got to do it that way. And then you push the eye in, and then you set the eye, just like that. So there's that. Now what I'll do is I'll do the other side. So you seen that side? Let me do the other side, and then I'll show you where we're at. It's coming along. He's starting to look like a deer. Yeah, I'll work on this side now. I'll do the same thing I did over there on that side. So anyway, we can time lapse this and I'll show you the finished product. All right, guys, got it all finished. So as you can see, this is how he looks. Yeah, see the eyes? So, yep, got it all done. I got the bracket put on the back to hang it on the wall. So it's all finished. So anyway, it gives you guys an idea of how we do the mounts and stuff like that in the shop. I've had a lot of people message me and say, hey man, I would like to see the taxidermy shop and stuff. So that's why we're showing you what we are. This thing will sit here for about 5 days and then it'll dry, and then we'll put the epoxy sculpt around the eyes, and then we'll paint it, and it'll be ready to go home. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day. Mitz, what are you doing? Go see Mom. She likes the warm weather. You like this warm weather?
Sure.
She's like, yeah, it's finally sunny and pretty warm.
I know.
She's silly. Silly girl. Silly girl. She's getting rambunctious. Oh, she's a good girl. Little old woman there.
Scratch your butt.
Oh, she's got it made.
I know. You're still spry for an old lady, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're spry.
Yeah, we tried to figure out some footage because I haven't been working on cars. I've been doing taxidermy.
Right.
So I told her, I said, we got to get some footage, you know.
Right.
With us getting some stuff, bringing it home.
Right.
Worked out pretty good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you need to stop by sometime, Chad.
Yep.
Yep. Our long lost friend Chad moved to Marion.
We missed him. He used to come over all the time. He's busy. Busy man.
Got it from here.
Yep, got it, man. Thanks again. Thanks, Chad. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay, see you later. So apparently Julie works for Walmart, or not Walmart, Meyer.
I'm the cart retriever lady.
She's a Meyer employee.
The traffic jam at the Meyer.
Oh, look at her. She wants to play. Come here. Miss, come here. Don't go too fast. You'll go tumbling.